Well, if yesterday was a late start, today is an even later start. It is 9:16 p.m. where I'm at, and this sweater is the last piece of laundry that I have left that is not dirty. It was actually given to me by a lady friend a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and it smells like her perfume, which is tripping me out. It's also prickly on my nipples, which is titillating. This is Chianti. It's a wine from Italy. It's gonna be good. I already drank some earlier while I was making spaghetti. My spaghetti ain't bad. It's spaghetti. You can't go wrong with spaghetti. It's hard to mess up, which is why I cook it. Oh, so what the devil am I going to prattle on about today? I haven't the faintest clue, except for spiders. So spiders you actually want to keep around your house, according to this Pocket article I stumbled across. Like I said, I take care of my granddad. He's my only relative in this country. Yeah. But at one point, one of the people that we had over here to help out with the house or something, probably noticed that the bathroom was starting to go. That was around the time I was noticing it was starting to go and we were getting the issue resolved. But somebody called DSS and they came by and they saw we had a bunch of cobwebs and things. Well, my granddad expressly always said, keep a spider around, spider will kill the bad bugs. And, you know, I'm not really terrified of bugs, so I was like, okay. So we had spiders, and when the DSS ladies came by, they were like, oh, you got spiders, this shit is nasty. I'm like, well, I mean, that's how we roll. His room is disgusting. I'm the one that's clean. I'm the neat freak. I'm the one that keeps everything organized. He's chaos. So, I don't know. But I just felt very vindicated by finding this article, which I will pull up again, since it came to the old memory noggin place just now and gives me something to enlighten you with. Is there a more pretentious way to say that I'm going to give information to people besides, outside of, I'm going to stop now. I'm half retarded. I've been awake for a long time, even though I took this crazy nap right after work. Man, speaking of work, we've been having volume, like, it's peak season, exactly like it's peak season. I had 950 today. That's 950 pieces of various sizes to load onto the trucks. The other day was 1,000, and they're not the big 18-wheelers. They're 3 little cars that you have to squeeze all this shit onto. It's insane. And but they're trying to cut hours and things and not giving union employees enough hours, and then the managers are not working and it's not supposed to be happening, and it's just a whole goddamn cluster fuck. Yeah, nothing new under the sun. Just trying to screw over hard-working people. All right. Should I kill spiders in my home? An entomologist explains why not to. I think an entomologist is somebody that studies the bugs and the spitters. Spitters are a natural and healthy part of your home's ecosystem. Although brown recluses terrify me to no end because they will jack you real bad. They generally live in like really damp, nasty places, so you don't want to stick your hand down somewhere because they'll bite it, and then that area will just kind of start to decay. Get melted away, eaten up by the toxin. My colleagues and I, which is in a state pretty close to me right here, conducted a visual survey of 50 North Carolina homes to inventory just which arthropods live under our roofs. Every single house we visited was home to spiders. The most common species we encountered were cobweb spiders and cellar spiders. As I was talking about the brown recluses, cellar spiders is what they are. Both build webs where they lie in wait for prey to get caught. Cellar spiders sometimes leave their webs to hunt other spiders on their turf, mimicking prey to catch their cousins for dinner. Spiders are terrifying critters. Although they are generalist predators, apt to eat anything they can catch, spiders regularly capture nuisance pests and even disease-carrying insects. This is why they're good. They capture insects, like I'm pretty sure roaches and other things carry diseases, and they'll jack them and screw them up. For example, mosquitoes. There's even a species of jumping spider that prefers to eat blood-filled mosquitoes in African homes. So killing a spider doesn't just cost the arachnid its life, it may take an important predator out of your home. So there you go, DSS ladies. Trying to take away our natural protection against malaria. How could you? How the hell could you? All right. Oh, bow, bow, bow. Yeah. Are scientists, are they, any better than your layman at answering questions about areas outside of their expertise? This is something that became apparent to me in a YouTube comments section at one point, or came to my attention rather than became apparent. Yeah, I think that they probably are, just because they have the requisite background, training, and generally, if they are actually active scientists, seek out information and filter it through a certain framework, so they have kind of a pattern of practice, of habit, of a certain kind of critical analysis. So it really depends on the layman, but in generally speaking, I think a scientist, even going outside of his field, will be able to give better input on a given subject, but that's not a necessary thing, and it's also not a reason that you should be less skeptical of their assertions, especially assertions outside of their given field. So, haha, I found material, I pulled it out while I was strumming and dumbing. So this right here, I just was fiddling around with, and it sounds like a Bach piece I heard a long time ago, but no one, including people that are like PhD music students, were able to tell me which Bach piece, if it is one. Something like that. I know. Perlmutter, 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 muttered, muttered. Perlmutter muttered himself, Perlmutter muttered himself in bed of Perlmutter muttered himself in bed of lifestyle. Perlmutter muttered himself a little bit of a while. Perlmutter muttered himself in bed of a lifestyle. Perlmutter muttered himself a bit of a while. As if you could pull time out from a sack, just by looking back, just by looking back. Perlmutter was behind the bookcase, Perlmutter he came up. Perlmutter he came up with something, something in a cup. The cup was tin and it fell down, the sound it rang. And so he did begin to know which way then he can go. To mutter like promoter, promoter, he muttered and he uttered, oh, oh. See if there's any other interesting articles. Why 6 hours of sleep is not enough? I don't know how interesting that is. Why some Japanese pensioners want to go to jail. Why do they? How to actually remove pesticides from your fruit. One of the things that article actually talked about is they might not be that bad for you. But then again, that's according to the USDA or the CDC or some sort of organization. It depends on whether or not you trust these so-called experts. Yes. Yes. So a vaccine won't stop the new coronavirus from the Atlantic. But what's interesting is that Israel or some other place apparently very quickly came up with a vaccine idea. And in like more atypical coronavirus news, there does seem to have been a genetic component to coronavirus found. It's ACE2. It's on the lungs primarily of people of East Asian heritage. And, you know, we heard about these Iranians getting it, so maybe some of them, despite having, you know, more closely related genetic types to Europeans, have ACE2 present as well. So I just find it interesting how, you know, you would think that the news would report on every bit of information, but because everybody's so afraid of talking about genetics because of, you know, like the early 19th century history, not 19th century, but early 20th century history of eugenics and that whole movement, now anything that has to do with like genetics or genetic predispositions to diseases is such a taboo subject that nobody even friggin' mentions it. It's so strange seeing 2015 on a bottle of wine, and that being half a decade ago. That was 5 years ago, my friends. 2015 was 5 years ago, and this video is 12 minutes long. So before your 2020 turns into 2030, and all you have to show for it is watching some guy with too much hair and zero musical ability babble into a camera, I'm going to sign off. My main website is called fractaljournal.com, where you'll find stories, ideas, and more. And if you enjoy this nonsense, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and mosey on over to check out the site, because, well, that helps out tremendously to know that people are getting something out of this. And I enjoy interacting with people, I enjoy conversation, so feel free to comment. Prost. Or, what do Italians say? Salute is what the French and the Russians say. I think the Russians stole it from the French because we had a big boner for France in like the 1800s for whatever reason. Anyhow, adios. I'll go with that one.